Hello, beautiful people. Miss Beeching here. Today we're going to have a look at listing possible outcomes for events. So basically we're going to look at different things that happen in probability and we're going to write down the possible things that could happen. We're going to use a few special words in this and we're going to go through them one at a time because these words come up a lot in probability. So the first one's an experiment, okay? And that's any activity that has a possible result. So what does that mean? Any activity that has a possible result. So it's literally anything you could do that can have possible, like things that could happen. So for example, we could roll a dice or a die. A die is the singular term. Maybe we rolled a d6, a six-sided die, okay? It's an activity, it's something we do, and it has possible results. We could roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a 6. We could flip a coin. That's another experiment. Okay, because we could get heads or tails. It's something that we do, it's an activity, and it has possible results. Another one could be picking a piece of fruit from a bowl. Okay, so if you get a fruit bowl at home and you pull out a random fruit, you might get an apple, you might get an orange, you might get a banana, you might get a mandarin, or other fruits. So all of these are experiments. They're an activity that has a possible result. These are just some really common ones. Sometimes you'll see like pulling a card out of a deck as well, but they're all called experiments. The next word that we use a lot is an outcome. So an outcome is just a separate or different result. And this word's really important, okay, of an experiment. So say we go back to our flip a coin. If this is the experiment, then the outcomes are going to be heads. So heads is one outcome. And tails is another outcome. There's two outcomes for flipping a coin. Okay, and you could do rolling a die. Let's say rolling a d6, a six-sided die. Okay, and there's a bunch of different outcomes here. You can get a 1, you can get a 2, you can get a 3, you can get a 4, you can get a 5, and you can get a 6. Each of these are different outcomes. And then if we go to the fruit one, I'm not going to write the full thing. There's a lot of different fruits you could get depending what's in the bowl. So you could get an apple, that's an outcome. You could get a banana. You could get an orange, etc. Okay, so each different thing that can happen is a separate outcome. The last word is probably the trickiest one. This is an event. Okay, so we said each event can either be a single outcome or a group of outcomes. So an event can be a bunch of different outcomes combined under one category. So say we had our roll a die. So we roll a d6, six-sided die. This would be an experiment, but this can also be an event. Okay, so this could be an event. Another event that could be similar is rolling an even number on a d6. This is also an event. Okay, and this event only has some outcomes. So this first event had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this event is only the even numbers. So it'd only be 2, 4, and 6. So these are two different events. Okay, and events can also be just one outcome. So the event could be rolling a 6. There's only one outcome for that. Okay, so events can be a lot of different things. They could be the whole experiment. They could be part of an experiment, like only rolling even numbers, or they could just be one outcome, like rolling a 6. If you find the event part confusing, double check with your teacher, or don't stress too much at the moment. You'll be exposed to a lot more events as you go. Let's actually go to writing some outcomes now. So we've already done a few examples up here. When we're asked to list outcomes, we're just writing the different possible things that could happen. Okay, so if we go through some of the examples from the gather section, if I could copy paste quick enough, the first one is rolling an 8-sided die. Okay, so the different possibilities of rolling an 8-sided die are 1, and I separate them with commas just to make it easier to read. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. These are all the different numbers that I can roll. So those are listing outcomes. Whoa, that's chunky. Okay, let's do another one. This time it's going to be a little more complicated. Okay, so this one is pulling a colored marble out of a bag that contains 3 red, 4 blue, and 5 purple marbles. So what are the different things that could happen here? Well, we could pull a red marble out of the bag, we could pull a blue marble out of the bag, or we could pull a purple marble out of the bag. So there's 3 different outcomes. Doesn't matter how many there are at the moment, but those are the 3 colors that you could pull out of the bag. Okay, let's do 2 more. So weather forecast, that's the next one. So a weather forecast. Now there's lots of different possibilities here. We're not going to list every single one. We're just going to list the most common ones. So the weather forecast could be sun or sunny, could be predicting rain, could be predicting a cloudy day, could be predicting fog, could be predicting frost or snow. There's lots, yeah? There could be heaps of them. The last example we'll do is one that a few people found tricky on the pre-test. And I think that's because a lot of people don't know what the word consonant means. So this one is the first letter of somebody's name being a consonant. Okay, so let's double check what a consonant is first. We know that vowels are A, E, I, O, U. Okay, so consonants are any letters that are not vowels. So let's list the possible first letters of someone's name. So we could have, let's write the consonant. So we could have B, C, and I'm running through the alphabet in my head. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, no I, J, K, L, M, N, no O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, no U, because that's a vowel, W, X, Y, Z. Okay, so there's all our consonants. So this is the possible outcomes of picking the first letter of somebody's name and it's a consonant. These are all the letters that somebody's name could start with. Okay? And that's it for this skill. Good luck. If you get stuck, ask your teacher. Otherwise, happy working through the processing.